What's going on, y'all? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for listening in to the HiiiScholar here. Today, I just want to talk about something real quick, and I think it's related to something I talked about before, which is wanderlust. But I really want to come at it from a different angle, which was talking more about how we expect black men to manage their emotions to a degree beyond sometimes even humanly possible. But I think it's also fascinating that in addition to managing emotions and the expectation of black men, there's also this kind of managing of feelings, managing of what they feel like they're getting from other people. Like feeling is one of those things that like it can be kind of mutual, it's interactionary. So emotions will be centered in one person, but there sometimes be this kind of like shared feeling that many men struggle with, but especially I think black men struggle with it because we have to deal with this attraction exoticism that people have to us, but either have been programmed to not respond to it or have been somehow conditioned to think of us through purely stereotypical carnal means and not necessarily as full human beings that have the full range of emotion and connection to other human beings. So I just think it's interesting that, sometimes there's this expectation of really like you can't respond to this mutual feeling that you understand maybe going on between you and another person. It's supposed to be left to them to, validate or give credence to the mutual feeling or understanding or exchange that you all have. And I think that's interesting because as you continue that on throughout life, you see instead of being more, guided by your own direction, when it comes to interactions, sometimes it was left to what do you think it is? You are more passe and passive in what you think the exchange has been. And I'm being kind of obscure right now because the more and more you start going to examples, people can start saying, well, no, you misinterpret this or misinterpret that. But men who know what I'm speaking to through experience know what I'm speaking to, which is you could have these kind of interactions and engagements with people where you kind of felt something that was there. And most men like myself have learned to just kind of like let it play out because similar to what I said about wanderlust, like you'll be told that you're crazy, that you're just always, you're being mannish or that you're, somehow ruining a situation because you really responded and spoke to the feeling that you were having in that moment that you felt like was being shared. And now you're being told or being described as being, off your center, not focused and all about one thing or another. And that may just be, that's one way of looking at it and kind of dismissing the experience of the one person for the other. But then there maybe also be the alternative of, no, this is what was really being shared. And maybe one person doesn't want it to the same degree or see it and interpret entirely the same way. But I think it's something to dismiss it altogether. And last thing I want to say is it gives a lot of room for the person who's not a black man to really engage and get that feeling to varying degrees without having to be accountable for the feeling that they give or the feeling that the messages that they're giving off that could be easily misinterpreted. So just trying to give some credence to like, no, we're having these kind of human experiences too, where because we're expected to manage our emotions and also manage the feelings that we exchange with another person. Sometimes people take advantage of that and get really close and know those feelings are being exchanged. And then as soon as you kind of like, hey, I think I'm kind of picking this up. Are we both feeling this? It's like, oh no, you're crazy. Why would I ever feel this? We're in this space, or we have this relationship because of the situation. Why would I be doing this or feeling this way or would lead you on that way. I would not do that at all. And that's sometimes giving one individual too much credit while also purely dismissing what that black man said. Like, nah, I kind of picked up, my body, my mind, and all these things are not just ill-equipped tools. And that's a part of what will lead somebody down this idea that, no, they don't know what they're feeling or experiencing. They need to be told that. So just a quick one, a tidbit there, kind of a part 2 to the Wanderlust that's really, really talking about managing feelings and managing being a black man who has been in situations where I felt either attraction to me or a mutual attraction between me and another person. But I also knew I couldn't just call a spade, name it in that moment, because the person would probably clutch their pearls and all of a sudden, in one way or another say that I was making up what I felt like I was experiencing. Thank y'all for listening.